Hello, my name is Brandon, and my assignment here is to critique a game, and the game I chose was Devil May Cry 3. So for this video, I will be going over 4 categories of game design while critiquing this game. Graphics slash level design, gameplay, story slash writing, and because this is the third installment in the series, how the game has improved or worsened from its prior iterations. And so, now that I have laid things out, let's get started. Devil May Cry 3 released in 2005, and when judging its graphical integrity, I want to focus on the games around its time period. It honestly was up there with some of the nicer looking games. While yes, there are obvious improvements that could be made, the game visually looks nice. The only complaint I would have is that there isn't really much variety in environments. Now, when it comes to level design, I will honestly say that this game is very easy to get lost in, and there's practically nothing to help you find your way. In fact, I spent a whole 30 minutes running back and forth because the game did not make it clear at all where I was supposed to go. Now, in something like a Metroidvania, this would make sense. But in this game, where there is a mission-based system, getting lost doesn't usually result in finding something new or adding to the experience. In fact, this is my second biggest complaint about the game, and only seems to hinder it. The gameplay is one of the strongest aspects of Devil May Cry 3. The movement is fluid and it feels good to attack enemies. I never really got bored of the gameplay, even when I was mashing and barely doing anything of substance. When you hit an enemy, it feels good to hit an enemy. They stagger, they fall over, it's great. In fact, the game actively encourages players to change up which attacks they use, keeping what is a simple attack system engaging and fun through the style system. To explain what the style system is, it is a combo system in the game where you gain access to more moves the more you use different attacks. If you spam one attack, you won't build style, and you will be weaker for it. It is one of the best systems in the entire series, in my opinion. Now, to talk about what was my biggest frustration playing this game and its prior entries, the horrible camera. I can't stress how many times I've misjudged a jump or struggled to attack an enemy because of the damn camera. While the camera improved in this game, it is still really bad. They added the ability to control the camera, and that's great. Well, except that's only sometimes. When you get to control the camera, it is extremely inconsistent. In fact, to go even further, for some reason the camera controls will be inverted. Sometimes, not even all the time. Regardless of this frustration, I did still enjoy the game, but I'm really hoping going forward in the series, that gets a lot better. In my opinion, the writing of this game is the best part of this game. It's campy and over the top with tons of goofy action scenes. Yet it is the most fun I have had watching cutscenes in a game in a good while. Look at this scene, for example. It's the opening scene to the game, and it's so insane.
This party's getting crazy. Let's rock.
It's silly, but it's a ton of fun to watch, and this game owns the hell out of it. It is written to be silly and over the top. It is painfully self-aware of that fact, and it shows in the story. The story is this edgy plot that ends up being surprisingly good and strong. The introduction of Lady and Virgil do add to the story quite a bit. Overall, an enjoyable experience, and I encourage you to play it. I need to open this section with a blanket statement saying that Devil May Cry 3 is easily the best game in the first 3 entries. While not the greatest, it improves in the camera controls, adding some form of control, even if inconsistent. In Devil May Cry 2, they tried to take a more serious tone, and it did not pay off, as Devil May Cry 2 is considered the worst entry in the series by many fans. In Devil May Cry 3, it seems they have given into the over-the-top fun writing that this game has, and it have set a tone for the rest of the series. Now, for one of my favorite improvements, the inclusion of tutorials. DMC 1 and 2 literally explain nothing of how the game works and has you do a ton of guesswork. I believe that Devil May Cry 1 had better level design due to its more linear and straightforward level design, but DMC 3 does, in my opinion, have better looking levels. Graphically, this game looks amazing compared to the older entries being on a new generation of systems. The fighting mechanics feel good to use compared to older entries, where I found myself getting bored at times. Overall, Devil May Cry 3 was a very solid experience despite the frustrating moments. I ended the game happy and excited to play the next entry in the series. If I had to give this game a rating, I would score it a strong 7 out of 10. It was good, but not amazing despite how much I loved it.